So yeah, we're gonna talk for a few minutes about some of the technical work that goes on at OpenStreetMap US and what's been happening recently and what's on the roadmap for the future. So OpenStreetMap US, if you don't know, actually maintains a number of software projects in the OSM ecosystem. Some of those are community projects that are maintained by other maintainers. Some of them are maintained partially or wholly by OpenStreetMap US staff. So I'm going to talk about the first couple of those projects. The first one is MapRoulette. So if you're not familiar, MapRoulette is a micro-tasking tool for OpenStreetMap, actually created by Martijn, who you heard from earlier. So it's a tool that lets you go find interesting things to map, or you can use it to create a challenge to point out things that need mapping so that other people can go find those things and work on them. Recently, what we've been working on MapRoulette, first of all, Quincy, you can go to the next slide. We have been working on our Rapid editor integration. So Rapid is a browser-based editor for OpenStreetMap. It's a fork of the ID editor that's the default on OpenStreetMap.org. And MapRoulette integrates Rapid so that you can edit OpenStreetMap right in the MapRoulette website interface. You don't have to open another tab or an external program to do your editing. So we've been working on some features to make the experience of editing right in MapRoulette smoother and easier. Another thing that we've been working on is improvements to the bundled task workflow. So certain MapRoulette challenges would have a lot of map features in a small area that you might want to work on as part of one change set and then mark them as fixed in MapRoulette all at once. And bundling lets you do that. And that feature has needed some love for a while, and so we've been working on a lot, making the workflow for editing bundled tasks easier and smoother, both for creating those bundles as a challenge author and also for working with them as a task mapper. We also worked on some changes to the confirmation modal for tag fix challenges. This is something that the community has been asking us for. And so a tag fix challenge is a challenge in MapRoulette where you can review and apply changes to an object in OpenStreetMap entirely through the MapRoulette interface. You don't actually have to jump into an external editor. And these are usually used for upgrading deprecated tags on things or correcting common typos in tag values, that sort of challenge, where you can essentially just look at some tags and say, yeah, that looks wrong, and here's the correct version, and you click a button, and MapRoulette actually makes a change set for you in OSM. So we've made some changes to the confirmation modal for these challenges to make it really clear to users what they're editing, that they're going to make an edit to OpenStreetMap by clicking the button that says fix these tags. And also, what are they changing? What are the values right now, and what are they about to add? And finally, leaderboards are back. So MapRoulette has leaderboards, global leaderboards, and also per challenge leaderboards, and they're a fun way to keep track of how much stuff you've edited on the map through MapRoulette. We had to turn them off for a while because they are fairly expensive database queries, and they were causing performance issues and basically making the site slow and sometimes taking it down entirely. But we made some performance improvements on the back end that meant that we were able to turn the leaderboards back on. So I know a lot of people have been missing those. They're back now. Let us know, yeah, if you're enjoying those things. Hope you are. Some upcoming stuff that we're looking at working on, improving our documentation website, both the content of the documentation site to make it easier to learn how to create your own challenges and things like that, and also improving the way that the documentation website is built and maintained, because right now it's hard to contribute, it's hard for the community to contribute to the documentation and help us improve it. So that means that it's sometimes out of date, and we're working on fixing that. And then also we're working on adding some end-to-end testing to the app, to the MapRoulette front end, and also automating deployments so that when new code gets merged into the GitHub repository, it automatically goes out to production. So we're hoping to make that, to do that so that we can do more frequent, more stable, reliable releases, and hopefully get bug fixes out to the community faster and ship fewer bugs in the first place. So that's about it for MapRoulette. The other project that I'm going to talk about before I pass it over to Quincy is OSMCha. So OSMCha is a change set viewer and OSM validation tool. So it lets you view any change set that someone made to OSM, and you can look at it on the map and see in detail what people changed. And you can also set up filters to subscribe to change sets that are made in your area that meet some particular criteria and then review them. So OSMCha, what we've been working on recently is primarily migrating the OSMCha backend to OpenStreetMap US infrastructure. And that required a lot of work and some code changes. And then also that migration caused some performance regressions and hiccups. And so we've been working a lot on improving the backend performance, making better utilization of the servers that we use to host the app, and making it so that the change sets load faster, that the web page loads faster when you visit it, things like that. Coming up soon, we're working on a new service for augmented diff generation. So augmented diffs are a key piece of data that OSMCha uses to render the change set on the map. It has to contain all the data about the old state of OSM and the new state before and after the change set. The service that generates that data right now is a bottleneck, and so we're working on a new architecture that's a lot faster and will make that data load more quickly and more reliably. And then we're also working on a lot of code-based modernization. It's a very old project, and that makes it hard to contribute to. And we really want to develop a community of contributors around this open source project. So we're working on cleaning up and modernizing the code to make it easier to get started with and dive into. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out. I'd love to help you get started with that. And with that, I will pass it over to Quincy.
Thanks, Jake.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah. I'm also gonna there will be office hours tomorrow for MapRoulette and OSMCha at 11 a.m. PT, 2 p.m. ET. So stop by there if you have more questions.
Sweet. Yeah, that'll be a good time. Yeah, my first update is that I just want to welcome Jake to the team. Since State of the Map US, we've had 2 new staff members, so now we have 2 full-time developers at OpenStreetMap US. Super exciting. Lots going on. Let's dive into other things. New from OSM US is the OSM Sandbox. We've been building this in order to support education environments. A lot of times OSM is used in education, including through our Teach OSM program. And with the Sandbox tool, you'll be able to spin up many, or you can, because we built it, many OSM-like databases for editing right away, and not have to do your edits for your training environment in OpenStreetMap itself. You can optionally see this with demo data, and that makes all the databases reproducible too. If you can do an OSM extract and then specify that when you spin up a sandbox, and then each student in every classroom and every semester will have the same experience mapping that data. It's integrated with the Teach OSM tasking manager, so you can choose which sandbox you want to use to spin up your new task, or you can, of course, make tasks directly in OpenStreetMap. And you can log in with your OpenStreetMap account. You don't have to make a separate account for each sandbox. So these are a lot of cool features that people have been asking for quite a while. And you can check out the code for this on our GitHub page. And all the tools we're talking about today are open source. So you can go hack on them, make your own fork, do whatever you like. And relatedly, our public domain map project is still in our pilot phase, but we're moving along quite a bit. And this is a tool to crowdsource government data. We've rebuilt the tool to work atop the OSM Sandbox stack. So we're able to use a lot of the same technology for both projects, which is really exciting. There's now one database per project, whereas before there was a single database that held all the data for all the different projects. And we think this will be a lot cleaner for getting data in and out. Integrated with the OSM US tasking manager, which is at tasks.openstreetmap.us. And again, you can log in with your OpenStreetMap account, don't need a second account to map. And a big upcoming change that we want to build for public domain map is the ability to conflate your edits to the public domain map project, such as a building that you'd mapped, conflate that with OpenStreetMap so we don't have duplication, and then send that data to OpenStreetMap at the same time. And we have our pilot project up for mapping buildings in North Carolina for the emergency management there. We'd love for you to be able to get on this project and participate if you'd like to volunteer. Check out the tool. There's also a workshop on that tomorrow that I'm giving at noon Eastern time. Some changes to our OpenTrailMap tool, which is still unfunded and would love to have a funding partner if anyone is interested in pushing forward this tech. These are just changes since State of the Map US. You can check out my talk from that conference on the website. So this is the tool for viewing trails in OpenStreetMap, and you can filter by different tags to see where values are present and where values still need to be added. A new change is that you can view the actual tag value when you zoom in. It'll just put it right there, so it's easy to figure out what's going on. There's a lot more points of interest, and they have little labels that have important information like, oh, this is a reservation required campground, so I can't just show up and expect to get a site. There's things like you can view fixed me's as points, so you can zoom really far out and see where all the trail fixed me's are. But these are not OSM nodes, these are just the fixed me tags, so this is a new way to view that data. And Jake did an awesome job of generating a terrain tile set, which makes the map really pop out, and also contour lines to view elevation data. This is still the best way to view canoe and kayak trail data in OpenStreetMap. A lot of detail there. You can check out different places you can canoe. And new just this week is we're generating static style sheets for all the different map styles that you've seen. There's well over 100 different combinations of travel modes and tag values, and that'll generate MapLibre styles that you can plug into your own apps. But of course, if you have styles, you need the tiles to run on that. And we've been running a closed beta of the OpenStreetMap US tile service, which is free vector map tiles for community projects. And pretty soon we want to open that up and make it available to a lot more people. We also have our community projects campaign that Jake talked about in the first block, and these give long-term homes to community projects such as Americana, Slice OSM, Merge OSM. If you have a project you think would be a good fit that will have prolonged life in the OpenStreetMap community, we encourage you to apply and receive a lot of the benefits. And it wouldn't be Mapping USA without some new swag. This is not a tech update, but you can check out this new shirt. It says, "Oh, when will my edits appear on the map?" So whether you're redrawing the map of Europe or of your backyard, you can rep that slogan as well. So thanks so much. I hope to see you all at our workshops tomorrow.